become that lucky girl at work, even though it's not your passion. Why is this so important to talk about? And why it's important for all things self-concept. So the lucky girl syndrome or concept is something that has been heavily discussed. It's been a trend for a while. I'm not that girl into trends. I jump on whatever I feel for. And so it feels a little bit interesting to actually talk about this. This is a concept in which I've practiced for many years now, and I actually seen the after results of it. And I also seen how this is a perfect example to tell you what's important when you're changing your self-concept. So it doesn't matter actually if you today want to change a self-concept into things are happening for you in your favor. I'm that lucky girl. Things are working out for me, which is kind of the foundation of this concept. Or if it is I matter or I'm worthy or whatever kind of self-concept that you want to change into right now, this video is for you. But we will use, of course, this concept to kind of demonstrate. So the one a most important thing that you need to know for the rest of this video is that when it comes to self-concept, it will not be changed only by you thinking about it, only by you repeating it. It requires repetition sometimes. Oftentimes it has been requiring repetition for me because it's something that I need to get used to, it's something that I need to learn kind of how to do it. But it's actually about repeating a certain feeling. It's not about just repeating a certain thought and thinking it all over again. It's the energy in which moves through your body. So here comes the secret. You have to create being a lucky person in order for you to be that lucky girl, have that lucky girl syndrome. Why it's kind of important, all this kind of concept, and why it can really help you at work is, first and foremost, it helps you to not being in this kind of hoping state. Sometimes when we really want something in our lives, we are in this kind of state of hoping that things will work out for us, hoping that things will change. And though that is a cute kind of concept to have, it doesn't really always make that shift that we want. So instead, we need to shift into things are working out for me, which is the lucky girl concept. It's also a very helpful for your reticulate, I can never say it, I will read it. Reticular activation system. So your RAS is what helps your brain, your mind to actually filter out what you believe in. So this is very important when you're changing a concept, when you're changing your beliefs. Your mind is starting to focus on certain details, certain proof in your external environment, in which this helps you to see and create this self-fulfilling prophecy. Actually, that's essentially what we are doing when we are creating this self-concept and keep on creating the feeling of that we are a lucky person. Things are happening for us, so to say. The last thing I want to say about why this is so important is also because when you are in a lucky state, especially when you're at work where that maybe isn't your biggest passion, you maybe want to move towards something else, or you just want to do something else for a while or whatever, this helps you to be in a very calm and safe emotional space. When you feel lucky at work, when you feel that things are working out in your favor, things are working out for you, and fun things and lucky things are happening to you, you're actually relaxing more. So your nervous system is relaxing. You are more in a safe space, you feel ease, and that is when we start to and can start to attract new environments, new circumstances into our life. Whereas if we are resistant, we hate what we do, we hate being at work, and nothing really works out for us, then we are in a very repelling state, and we are not attracting something at that moment. So that's why it's so important to have that concept, and I think that is one of the most important concepts to have actually when you're in a situation in which you want to move away from. So for many years back, I started to create, without even knowing that was called, or that later on, so to say, became that kind of lucky girl concept. But essentially, it is about believing that you are lucky and that things are happening for you. So you have to create that feeling from within. So when that kind of concept really clicked for me, not only that I practice it and needed to be it, when I one day just like woke up and felt that, wow, I'm actually very lucky, and looking back to my life and seeing that, wow, I always been a lucky person. Like, there are so many situations in my life in which I've seen that, wow, actually it turned out really good for me, or actually, like, it could have turned much worse than it did. So due to that, I also know that I've been carrying this concept unconsciously for a very long time, but it's as if it has been a new kind of level for me, which have helped me a lot. So when I started to notice this, and when it really started to click for me, was when I really embodying that feeling. I noticed that it was kind of a shift in this level of support I received from my colleagues. I could like kind of think one thing a little bit quickly, and then suddenly my colleagues already done that task, or they were just like supporting me, or like very helpful, or asking me if they could like take something from my work. And yeah, it was like a big bubble of just like, wow, I'm so lucky at this moment. I'm so lucky having these people around me who is helping me. If I open an email, I was like, oh my god, I'm dreading to open this email. And then I realized like, wow, okay, it was actually a good email, or things were already fixed, or oh, it solved itself by itself. And I started to get a lot of compliments. I started to get a lot of praises at work. I started to like really be seen and valued for the work that I did. So all of this created this effect of that, wow, I'm really in a lucky girl state at this time. So that is also the results that you can get from it, and more and more and more and more. But these are just some, so that you can understand kind of what results can you see of it as well. Now I'm going to give you secret number 2. Secret number 1 was to create it. You need to be able to create being a lucky person, right? Not thinking your way into being a lucky person, but creating that feeling, letting that move through you. The second secret is actually to go deeper into that creation, and actually go deeper into your magnetic power. Because when you're in your magnetic power, then lucky things start to happen for you, because you are lucky. You are the person who are embodying that state, and you're also that person in which you do create circumstances because you do things that are so natural for you. So I talked about this before, or if I actually just shared it in my manifestation workshops locally, I don't really remember. But anyhow, I usually talk about that you kind of have your own magnetic power, and it's up to you to also find that magnetic power. I do believe that we have different type of magnetic powers as well, even though that some vibrations are very magnetic. So if you carry kind of that vibration, it's also a plus. But of course, there's always a level of your own signature of how you magnetize things into your life. So one of those signatures for me is kindness, for instance. So another one, those is a love. Love is a very strong energy in itself. It is a very like high energetic energy, and it's also extremely magnetic. Feeling love for yourself is the first thing. You can't create anything outside of yourself until you feel that and give that to yourself. It's so important. But also thinking about that, when you're creating this feeling, it's also in regards to how do you carry love throughout your days? How do you show up with love? So if we choose this feeling of love, for instance, this is in regards to loving your colleagues, being loving to others. Can I do something in which it will benefit all? It will support not only me, but it will support others. And I genuinely feel that I want to create that. So when I'm in my emotional maturity, I'm extremely emotional intelligent. I have we can go into that another time. I talked about that before, but I needed to learn and practice to be emotional intelligent at a very young age. So this has really grown to me. I have a very very like big legacy of just like feeling a lot and being a very sensitive person in all good aspects. So due to that, that is also one of my magnetic powers. I'm very, very intelligent. I'm very secure. I'm very mature and very intelligent nowadays when it comes to my emotions. I've been needing to go like a long path to come into that realization and coming into that truth about myself. But nowadays, when I'm really able to be mature in my emotions, now when I am a creator with my emotions and not a reactor with my emotions, this is one of my most magnetic powers. So I started to actually create with that power. I started to create circumstances. I started to thinking like, how can I actually use my expertise of my emotional knowledge of bringing in the feeling into the workplace, like talking about like how is everybody feeling, creating this space for opening up for emotions to take place, creating this space to also take decisions from emotional intelligence and not only from decisions from KPIs or results, right? So I kind of bridged the gap around that. And around that time, I also noticed how it like came into a new kind of level of being lucky at work. So what I'm saying about this is because I'm just me in my creation of my magnetic power, in my creation of just being like, okay, things will work out for me. As I told you before, this is a concept in which I've carried many, many years, right? And when I add that with creating a new emotion, kind of a new blend of it, creating something that is so natural, so true to me, and something that I genuinely just want to give to the world, then when it clicks. Then it is when it definitely clicks. It like clicks, and you're feeling that you're just lucky all the time. Like no matter what happens, no matter what circumstances you're being thrown in and out about, you will always walk out of that situation being the lucky one. And that, when you have that kind of certainty, when you have that kind of belief, it is super, super cool. And it is also helping you to feel good at work, feel good in places where you maybe feel that, okay, I'm quite done with this situation soon. So it's really about making it a benefit. So those are the two secrets. As I said, results that you can receive, it depends on you. It depends on kind of where you're at. It depends on kind of what you're creating. As I said, I was creating love at the workplace, so I received love and support back, right? And compliments and accomplishments and all that kind of what goes around when it comes to love. It can be different for you, but I really want you to practice creating the feeling, creating the sense of that you are luck. You create luck. You are not a person who think yourself to luck. You create luck. It's a state. It's something that comes from within. But also the secret number 2, to really blend that with one of your unique magnetic powers. I hope that this was super, super helpful for you, or just like something really nice to spin your ideas when it comes to creating a new self concept for you, even though it's not the lucky girl concept, but it is something else. Keep on listening to Within Talks, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.